Present, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you so
Yes,
much, ladies and gentlemen. Now I'm ready to start the meeting. As you have heard from our president, our theme is mindful living. Now,
Apologies. Thank you.
Now I would like you to ask you a question. What do you understand by mindful living? Please do respond on the chat. Tell me, what do you understand when we say mindful living? I would like for this meeting to be interactive and for us to share ideas so that by the time we end this meeting, we are able to take some nuggets home, things that we will be able to implement in our own lives at home, at work, with our employees, with our spouses or children or friends or siblings. Mindful living. What does that mean to you? What do you understand and what do you think it is? And later on, I will ask you a second question. Now I'm going to call upon, before I do that, my role as a Toastmaster of the evening, I'm basically the MC for this meeting. I will be piloting and driving this car. I'm going to call it a vehicle today because normally I do the analogy of an airplane. So today we are driving. We are in a mini bus, ladies and gentlemen. So I hope you are buckled up, and yeah, we will be cruising 120 speed limit, even though I think the speed limit for Abu Siaya is 100. Ne? In any case, I would like to call upon, I won't be driving this minibus alone. I've got a team that will be assisting me in making sure that we arrive at our destination all in one piece and safely. So I would like to call upon our general evaluator, who is Klochi, to please come to the virtual podium, introduce her role and her team who will be helping her with the evaluation. Over to you, general evaluator.
Good evening, everyone. Am I audible? Thank you. Good evening,
loud and clear,
everyone.
loud and clear.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks you, Madam Toastmaster. My name is Kloche, as introduced, and I am taking on the role of the general evaluator for tonight. And as the general evaluator, I will be evaluating everything that takes place throughout the meeting. I will be taking note on what is happening and maybe what could happen better. And I will also evaluate some of the role players. And then I will give my report at the end of the meeting. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Do you want me to call the next role players or you will do that?
That is your duty, Madam General Evaluator. Please do call your team.
Thank you so much. I will do so. Up next, I would like to call upon the timer to introduce her role.
Greetings, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As timer, I'll be timing the table topic speakers, prepared speeches and evaluations. I'll let each speaker using the green, yellow, and red cards when they reach specific times. For table topics, table topics should not be more than 2 minutes. 2 minutes. For table topics, I will raise the green card at 1 minute. So there's the green card. I'll raise the yellow card at 1 minute 30 seconds, and I will raise the red card at 2 minutes. For prepared speeches, which should be 5 to 7 minutes, I will raise the green card at 5 minutes. I will raise the yellow card at 6 minutes, and I will raise the red card at 7 minutes. I heard there's another speech that does not fall under the times that I've prepared. That should be 10 minutes. I think Gosnati will help me with the times when it comes to that. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster.
I think I'm running the session now, Madam Timer, but thank you very much for introducing your role. I would like to call up next our grammarian. I'm not sure if the grammarian, we have a grammarian tonight. Yes, Cindy.
Yes, we do.
Yes, thank you. I'd like to call up Cindy Dladla to please introduce her role as a grammarian tonight. Cindy?
And good evening, everybody. Yes, I am here. My name is Cindy Lala, and I'm from the Rivonia group. And thank you for having me today as the grammarian. And my role as the grammarian is, all right, as the grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers, listening carefully to their language usage. I'll take note of any misuses of the English language, as well as any outstanding words, quotes, sayings, or thoughts. As grammarian, it is also my duty to introduce the word of the day. And the word of the day today is percolate. The word of the day today is percolate. To percolate is to cause a solvent to pass through a permeable substance. To prepare coffee as well, you utilize the word percolate when you prepare coffee as well. I will paste the definition in the chat, but today's word is percolate.
Thank you to our grammarian. And I believe our grammarian is wearing two hats today. So can I just call you up again on the podium and ask you to please introduce yourself as the accounter for the evening?
No problem. Thank you again. While you let the word of the day percolate into your subconscious, I'm also playing the role of the accounter, and we've noted that in our speaking, we use a lot of crutch words like so I'm going to be taking note of that, and I believe this is going to be a great one. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Cindy. Indeed, it looks like it will be a great meeting tonight. So I would like now to hand over back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator. I believe we do have table topics as well. Do we have our table topics master who can please introduce their role?
Yes, Colleen must be on the call. She just joined.
All right. Hi, Colleen, Table Topics Master. Please come to the virtual podium and describe your role, please.
She's also on the call on the phone.
All right. Without wasting time, the word of the day reminded me of the advert, the Re-Coffee, a percolated taste. Thank you so much, Madam Grammarian. You took me back to the days of my youth when I was young, and I'm so glad to report that I don't even drink coffee yet. That one stuck in my mind. Without further ado, I would like us to just continue with the agenda. I would like to call upon our first evaluator, who will be evaluating our very first speaker, Simpiwe, who will be evaluating Malehlohonolo. Simpiwe, please come to the virtual podium and tell us what are Lehlohonolo's speech objectives. Over to you.
Apologies, Madam Toastmaster. Due to the program changes that were made before the meeting started by Mr. VPE, I am supposed to do an educational for 10 minutes before the prepared speeches. If you can allow us to do that, please.
Perfectly. Please go ahead.
Right, thank you. I am also timing myself. 3, 2, 1, there I go. Greetings, fellow Toastmasters and guests, as well as visitors. I am Sibongiseni Mgolozeli. We decided as a team ExCo team that it would be better for us if we do an educational for 10 minutes to focus mostly on the things that we saw that are lacking in our club. Specifically, we'll be focusing on the educational regarding how to evaluate yourself before you deliver either your first, second, or third speech. And after delivering that speech, what we have noticed ever since we chartered is that our new members are not familiar with the concept of logging their speeches online. That means in the Toastmasters website. So the reason for all of this, or maybe another thing that we've noticed is, as some of us know, especially the seasoned Toastmasters, we have something called DCP points. We are not being credited, even though our members are completing level 1, level 2, and level 3, and so forth, because they are not doing the right thing in the Toastmasters website. So that's the purpose of this educational. And another thing is, ever since we started, our new members are not aware that they need to come before they speak. They need to bring their evaluation forms that are specific to their pathway that they have chosen. So it is in this educational that I will show each and every member of the club how to actually extract the evaluation form that we are supposed to give the evaluator during the meeting. So I'm going to share the screen now. That will be basically the main purpose of this educational. But in addition to that, since now we're a couple of months old as a club, and maybe if anyone can confirm if they can see my screen I've just shared right now, maybe thumbs up.
Yes, I can see your screen.
Okay, that's perfect. So fellow members of Visionary Readers Toastmasters Club, this is very important and I need you to pay attention. If you have a notebook with you and a pen, please take some notes, especially if you are not sure about what is supposed to be done whenever you're about to deliver a speech. Number one, you are all registered now, we believe, on Pathways. So after registering on Pathways, obviously, after logging in, you will see this homepage where this says welcome and then your name. I've logged in already since I'm a member of Toastmasters, obviously, that's my name. So you will see your name after registering. Now, the second step you need to do, as soon as you get to this page, you go to education program. Then what you need to do, you need to go to Basecamp to access Basecamp. Okay, maybe for starters, let me take you back a bit. Maybe if I can go straight in this homepage, it's easier that way. There's also simple without having to go to any other place. There's these 3 tabs that you can see here. So you need to go to Basecamp. That is the second step. Then if you are a member of 2 clubs, or let's say, for instance, you are a member of 1 club, and that is Visionary Readers for you. So you'll click there because I'm a member of Visionary Leaders and Visionary Readers. So for this case, for your case, you'll go to Visionary Readers. But for my case, okay, it's fine, even though I'm there. Basically, I'm doing the pathways in both of those clubs. So there's this one, okay, that is disturbing me. Let me put it at the bottom. So now that is your second step. You will come to this page. I hope we're still together at this point. And then you will just basically go under path and learning. And then you see, for my case, I chose as you all know now, there are about 11 pathways to choose from. And to summarize, you go to your chosen one. For me, I'm actually doing engaging humor pathway right now. So you go to open curriculum. And then you will be patient, wait for the meeting, for the video to load. And then as soon as you get there, you can see I've done already level 1, that is a tick, level 2, that is a tick, level 3, that is a tick. Since all of you have logged already your speeches, I would like to take you back to level 1. So you see, even though I already ticked, what you need to do, if you have done the right thing, you should be seeing all these ticks if you have reached level 3 already, or if you have finished level 1, you need to see a tick next to level 1 under your engaging humor pathway. Or if you have selected presentation mastery, there should be presentation mastery there. Let's click and go back to level 1. So obviously, Level 1 is your icebreaker. Then when you get there, you basically go to launch. Since I've already launched, it will show this page and then it's saying loading, and then you click load so that it can load faster. I will wait for it until it finishes loading. So please bear with me. I hope my internet is not too slow. Otherwise, I'm watching the time. I'm halfway through my educational now. I want to just rush to get to the point where you will get to your... Yeah, my internet is slow. Let me see if I can find another way to cheat the system. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, still loading. Maybe the latest one will not be as slow. Let me go to the second one. Maybe it will be quicker. I'm running out of time due to the slow network. Okay, this is not the page I was looking for. Please bear with me, fellow Toastmasters. Otherwise, if any of you is in Toastmasters, you can see what I'm doing. And maybe if I can move to the latest one, let me go to level 2, because maybe since I've done those levels, finished level 1 already, it won't allow me. Okay, maybe the easiest one, since I'm not finished with level 3, it will be easier if I'm there. Let me do this. Okay, let me do the one that I haven't completed yet. So you basically go to the one that you have done. You start by saying launch. I want to check something, loading a title, then click. I just want to see if it will allow me. I see I'm left with 3 minutes. I will try. Hopefully it will allow me this time around. Okay, maybe without having to wait for the system, I can just explain what is supposed to be happening here. Because generally, what we want to emphasize at this point is when you get to this level, let's say at your level 1, you will see under level 1, there's about, as you can see here, 1, 2, 3, 4 speeches. The first one obviously is an icebreaker. What happened here, as soon as you click to launch, I'm not going to click now because it takes forever to load. You will see that it will ask you, it will basically give you the fundamentals of what you are supposed to do. It will give a brief description of that whole project. That is your icebreaker. Up to a point whereby you'll get to a page that says, evaluate yourself before a speech. Then you'll get a number from 1 to 5, whereby it says it will give you different options to rate yourself before you deliver a speech. For instance, are you comfortable enough to deliver a speech in front of an audience on a scale of 1 to 5? Then there are about 5 questions you need to ask before you deliver the speech. Then all of those 5 questions, you can maybe say 3 or 4, depending on your confidence. Then immediately after that, it will take you to project checklist. But at this point, as an icebreaker, there won't be project checklist, but an evaluation resource. The evaluation resource means it's an evaluation form that you need to download before you come and deliver your speech. Even before you write your own speech, you need to have that evaluation form in place. Then that evaluation form will be needed before you deliver your first speech. I see I'm left with a minute. So what we want to emphasize is now, after you came with your evaluation form, you delivered your icebreaker, you then need to come back to the system to basically assess yourself after delivering that speech. Then also, again, it will be a matter of rating yourself on a scale of 1 to 5. How confident are you now after delivering, or how do you feel after delivering that speech? 5 questions, and then as soon as you do that, it will ask you to basically click, there's like a last option that will say, I have completed my first speech on level 1, that is your icebreaker. Then as soon as that happens, you need to go back again before you deliver your second speech. You continue the same process up until you get to the 4th speech. Then as soon as you are done with your fourth speech, in this level 1, it will ask you to actually send a message at the bottom to your VPE to say you have completed level 1. Then your VPE will approve on your behalf to say, okay, he or she has witnessed that you have done all your speeches in level 1. Then after he has approved, you will actually get a certificate that will basically confirm that you have completed level 1. So it will say view certificate. At this point, it means my VP has approved my level 1 completion. Then this certificate will need to see it. It will be a proof even for you that you have completed level 1. I don't know if you will see it now, but basically it will look like this. Can you see on your side my certificate? This is basically my last point, since I'm a minute over by time. So when you get to this point, then that means you have done all the necessary requirements for you to move to the second level. I guess I'm done now due to time. Apologies, fellow Toastmasters, but we had to emphasize this point. If you are not clear, you can reach out to me privately, then I can assist. Otherwise, thank you for your time. Let me hand over back the control to Madam Toastmaster.
Beautiful. Wow. Wow. Thank you so much, Dr. Sibo, for that educational. That was very, very, very important, because we see it that our new members, most especially, they struggle to make sure that they send their evaluation forms. Therefore, evaluations and feedback don't get recorded. Thank you so much. That was so important. And fellow Toastmasters, I hope from now on you'll be able to send your evaluation forms, because those are the forms that helps you grow in Toastmasters, that ensures that your return on investment is realized, because without those evaluation forms, it becomes difficult for you to understand where you need improvement. And all the work that the evaluators do then doesn't amount to much. That, to me, was a percolated training session, meaning it was refreshing, and I loved every minute of it. Now I would like to read upon all the responses that you guys said on the chats. Remember the question that I asked: what does mindful living mean to you? And we had Teddy. Teddy said it means being present. And we had Dr. Sponseni, who said it means being deliberate in your daily choices. That's my 2 cents. I love your answers, fellow Toastmasters and guests. And we've got Male, who said it's being in touch with our surroundings. And we had Cindy. Cindy said it's being intentional. And we had Utandile. Utandile said intentionality in how you live your life and the decisions and paths you take. Beautiful, beautiful responses, ladies and gentlemen. And then we had Rina. Rina said, being aware of the present moment. Presence, presence, presence. That's what I'm taking away. And we had Division 8 Toastmasters. I wonder who's hiding behind the Division's account. Said, oh, no, that was a message to me. No problem. Thank you so much. All those answers really, really do talk to mindful living. Now I would like us to go to our speeches. This is where we get our nuggets and lessons. I would like to call upon our first evaluator, that's Simpiwe. Simpiwe, please come to the virtual podium and tell us what is Malay's speech objectives. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. So I'll be evaluating Malihlololotsi's speech. Her pathway is persuasive influence. She is on level 2, doing speech number 3 under that level. And the theme for that speech is Introduction to Toastmasters Mentoring. So the objective of her speech is about a time where being a prodigy or a mentee. And she must share the impact and the importance of having a mentor in the Toastmasters. What are the benefits of having a Toastmaster, and like what she learned and what can be improved? And the title of her speech for today is Seeing and Being Seen, Finding Value in Mentorship. Thank you very much. Welcome on stage, Malihlonolo to deliver your speech. Thank you. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Simpiwe Malehlohonolotsiye, with the speech title, Seeing and Being Seen, Finding Value in Mentorship. Over to you, Male.
Thank you very much, Madam Toastmaster of the evening. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, guests, and visitors. My name is Malehla Onolatia, and tonight I have the privilege of delivering my speech and relaying my experiences to you regarding mentorship. Did you know? A recent study shows that 90% of workers who have a mentor report being engaged and being happy in their job. Mentees are 5 times likely to be promoted than those that do not have mentors. Mentors are 6 times more likely to be promoted than their colleagues that are not offering mentoring. 25% of employees who are part of a mentoring program had salary increases in comparison to 5% that didn't. I'm sure you can all agree with me that this mentorship is serious business. Ladies and gentlemen, over the last couple of years, I've had the privilege of becoming a mentee and a mentor, inside and outside of Toastmasters. And tonight, I would like to relate and percolate my experiences with you. Being seen. Being a mentee for me means that I get to be seen. My vulnerabilities, my strengths, my weaknesses, my aspirations, all of that, laying it bare. Mind you, I am somebody that's always considered myself to be very independent. And when the opportunity came for me to have a mentor, I did not really welcome it very well because I was afraid of really letting somebody in, somebody that I did not know, somebody that was very different to me. I decided to open up my heart and my mind, and I enjoyed the experience. I never looked back afterwards. The mentorship that I had really opened a whole lot of doors for me. I saw new perspectives to issues that I had been going around in circles with. Having this really also helped me to develop the muscle of really embracing diversity. We tend to gravitate towards those that are very similar to us, because we are so afraid of rejection and really being challenged by those that are not like us. But little did I know that's where the treasure was for me. I found a very good mentor, and that helped me to really, really value mentorship. I then joined Toastmasters earlier this year, and I got yet another mentor, Dr. Sibongiseni Mgolozile. Someone who I believe we all appreciate because we all learn invaluable lessons from. Dr. Sibu is so patient. He is so respectful, resourceful, knowledgeable. I mean, he just did the educational for us right now. And he is somebody that is very dependable. Anytime that I want to run something past Dr. Sibu, I know that he will definitely respond and he will avail himself. I will forever be grateful to Toastmasters for having given me a mentor that is someone like him. It is a wonderful privilege to have somebody that can support you and your growth, and somebody that can be equally, if not more, invested in your growth than you are. What being a mentee has taught me personally is that I don't have all the answers, and I can rely on those that have walked a journey similar to mine. And I cannot wait to also become a mentor. Seeing, a mentor in Toastmasters, sorry. Seeing, I am a mentor outside of Toastmasters. I became a mentor after being a mentee. And as studies may have it, 89% of individuals that are mentored will likely become a mentor to someone in future. I'm sure we can all agree that these are the stats that one would really want to be a part of. And I am. Being a mentor for me means seeing with your eyes and with your heart. Seeing someone for who they really are at the very core. Seeing what they can see and what they choose not to see. Hearing the spoken and unspoken words of your mentees. One of my mentees asked me, what is it that I get from being a mentor to them? Because they felt it was a very one-sided relationship. Little did she know that I gained so much value from sharing from relating my experiences with others and allowing others to learn from the mistakes that I had made previously. Being a mentor has really helped me reflect on my past experiences and methodologies that I used even unknowingly that helped me navigate my way through my life and through my work. Being a mentor has taught me to be very objective. It has even removed phrases from like, I told you so, from my vocabulary. You find that mentees sometimes may not decide to go with what you have advised them. And you need to be very objective and you need to be very mature in your approach to still be there for them, even if they decide to go the other way, as tempting as it may be to tell them, I told you so. I make it a point to have at least one mentorship session scheduled with my mentees a week. And each time when I reflect on my week, trust me when I say this becomes the highlight of my week, because I tend to connect even far beyond the work that I am doing with my mentees, being an on-the-job mentor to my mentees. I've developed very strong and personal relationships with my mentees that I truly value and cherish with my heart. Mentorship is one of the areas where I keep giving so much of myself and I will never tire of it. It is fast becoming my default setting. I find so much fulfillment in it that I am even considering taking up courses to become an official or certified mentor and coach in 2024. I feel so privileged to become part of this diverse mentorship ecosystem. After completing my level 2, I plan on becoming a Toastmaster mentor. I will add that to my growing list of portfolio of becoming a mentor. In closing, may we keep growing and learning and keep bringing others with us. Let us make sharing our life experiences and skills with others a norm so that they can learn from us and grow. If we don't share our learnings with others, they will keep making the same mistakes that we did. Then it will all be for nothing. Let us help each other to continue to work on ourselves and on our dreams through mentorship. Thank you.
Woohoo! Ladies and gentlemen, let's give her a round of applause. Well done, Male. Well done. That was beautiful. Thank you so much for that speech. And what I took from it is that when you want to go further and faster, make sure that you have a mentor. Make sure that you have somebody who's walked the path to hold your hand. I always say that mentors are not coaches. And I would like to believe that we all know the difference between mentorship and coaching. Mentors are not going to do the work for you. However, they will give you direction of where to go and the pros and cons of why you should do certain things and why you shouldn't do certain things. Beautiful. Now I would like to call upon the second evaluator. That's Rina, who will be evaluating our second speaker.
No. Rina is the one delivering her speech, and then I will be the one to evaluate Rina.
Oh, so Barbara is not online, right?
No, Barbara is not on the call, and I'm not
Okay.
getting any response from her.
Perfect. So I will call upon Gosnati, who will be evaluating Rina. Gosnati, please come to the virtual podium and tell us Rina's speech objectives.
Okay, good evening, everybody. I have the honor and the privilege to evaluate Rina Valabai for her level 3 speech number 1, which is using presentation software. And the purpose of her speech, is for the member to introduce or review basic presentation software strategies for creating and using slides to support or enhance a speech. And then the other purpose is for the member to demonstrate his or her understanding of how to use presentation software, including the creation of slides and incorporating the technology into a speech. So, and her speech title will be, "Can I Have a Cookie Please?" by Rina Valabai. So thank you so much, Rina. All the best from me. Thank you. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you so much, Ngosinachi. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Rina on the virtual podium. Rina with the speech title, "Can I Have a Cookie, Please?" Over to you, Rina.
Good evening, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests. On a bright Saturday morning, my toddler and I were shopping in the supermarket. He excitedly leaped and went, "Mummy, can I have a cookie, please?" He was pointing to a pack of cookies shaped like animals about the size of a coin each. As we drove home, he clenched the pack tightly in his hands. He zoomed through the room to brag about his cookies to Grandpa and Grandma. I emptied the pack of cookies onto a bowl. He sat next to his grandma to enjoy his treat. When Grandma threw the unexpected question, "Can I have a cookie, please?" With wide open eyes, my little one looked at Grandma and turned to me and said, "Mummy, could you get the round cookies from the kitchen for Grandma?" Grandma went, No. Can I have a cookie, please? The animal-shaped one." To alleviate the dilemma, me like a smart cookie went, "Next time when we go out shopping, we will buy a separate pack of cookies for Grandma." I assumed that this would settle things. But Grandma persisted. "Can I have a cookie, please?" Her face broke into a broad grin. The smile was heartening. My little one handed her a cookie, smiling back. I was proud of my little boy. As he was about to go for his cookie, Grandma went again. "Can I have a cookie, please?" I was baffled. I said, "Mother, what is it this time?" The Pew Research Center categorizes generations under 7 different categories. The greatest and the silent generation. These generations were born between 1901 to 1945. They faced the world wars, social and economic turmoil. Nevertheless, they were a forward-thinking generation with high regard for authority. Then came the baby boomers. They were born between 1946 to 1964. This generation had a desire to progress. They had the responsibility to rebuild what was lost to war. They showed absolute resilience and perseverance. They were the go-getters. They rarely quit. Followed by the Gen X. This generation was born between 1965 to 1980. These were the latchkey kids. Most of them had both their parents working. They were led to hang in front of the television sets or with their friends on their own. An independent, self-reliant, and a free-thinking generation. Then came the Gen Y, also called the millennials, followed by Gen Z, the Zoomers. They were born between 1981 to 2012. Well, this generation grew during the digital revolution. They had their laptops, their smartphones. Their communication was fast. They thrived on social media. They saw the world changing rapidly right in front of their eyes. They loved to stay current. And also this generation loved diversity. Finally, the Gen Alpha. They were born after 2013. This generation is considered digitally intuitive. And I expect you to have high levels of familiarity and comfort with artificial intelligence. Now, any guesses to which generation grandma belonged? Well, she belonged to the baby boomers, the never quitting, forever persevering generation. As she went for the second time, "Can I have a cookie, please?" "For grandpa this time," she said. My little one jumped out of his chair. He felt a bit guilty that he had forgotten grandpa, who was his playmate. He ran to grandpa and gave a cookie. As he came back, he asked grandma, "Anyone else, grandma?" Grandma said, "How about your mother?" He came to me and gave a cookie. I could clearly see that his focus had transitioned from consuming the cookie to that of sharing. Then he spotted a doggy cookie and he went and shared it with the doggy before he started eating the cookie. The next day, I gave him a bowl of pomegranates. He immediately took a few and put it on my hands and then ran to share with grandpa and grandma. I was awestruck. A valuable lesson learned. The power of intergenerational communication truly amazed me. It dawned on me that day on how much wealth of wisdom each generation brings on to the table. We communicate with people of different generations almost every day of our lives, at home, at workplace, and in public settings. As we saw in the Pew Research categorization, each generation comes with their own unique perspectives, influences, and challenges. So definitely there are barriers communicating across these generations. How do we overcome them? An open heart, a listening ear, an environment of mutual respect for each other can help break all barriers and create a fostering environment for us to learn from each other. Fellow Toastmasters, may I leave you with this thought today? Could we consider intergenerational communication not as a challenge, but as a rewarding experience, as it did for me through that one unwavering question, "Can I have a cookie, please?" Thank you, Madam Toastmaster.
Wow, wow. Can we please give Rina a round of applause, please?
Well done, Rina.
Thank you, Rina. Thank you for an intriguing speech indeed. And I hope that the Toastmasters that are online and the guests and visitors were able to open their minds and percolate on what you just presented for us. I hope that as it sinks in and they receive what you spoke about, because you took me back to my house where I'm struggling with my daughters, and you took me back to my aunt's house, to my grandparents' house, and when I was young, how intergenerational communication could have assisted on some of the battles that we just locked heads upon. Thank you so much for those nuggets. And I think it is important. Like Malay said, you know, mentorship as well, it's not something that is outside of you. It can also be within our own households with intergenerational communication, where the mentors are the grandparents in the house for the little ones. Thank you so much for that. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, our theme for this meeting is, how do I forget the theme now? Mindful living, mindful living. Remember what you think is mindful living. And I hope you got some of the nuggets from the speeches that we heard tonight about mindful living, things that are going to assist you to be more intentional, because that's what we heard from the two speeches, to be more present. So I went on, when I was preparing for this meeting, to Google and to try and check, what does it mean to be mindful living? And I came across 5 aspects of mindful living, or living mindfully. That was presence. That's the first thing. And we all know that being present doesn't mean being physically present. It means being there and being attentive and present in every moment of your life. The second one was awareness, being aware. I know now lately we talk about self-awareness. You know, we make these things buzzwords, but they are very important that we understand what it actually means. The third one was appreciation. So you are not just present, you are not just aware, but you need to take it all in. Be appreciative and perhaps verbalize it with the people around you. And the fourth one is reflection. Be able to reflect and think back in everything that you do and see where you can improve every single day. I always say when I talk to my daughters that if I am better today than I was yesterday, then I have achieved my mission. And the last one is action. We need to remember that mindful living doesn't happen on its own. It is not through osmosis. However, it needs your participation. Now, if I look at our program, I think we only had 2 speakers. We can go to the evaluation. If I follow the program, we need to have speech evaluations now. So I'll call upon Simpiwe, who was evaluating Malihlohonolo. Simpiwe, please come to the virtual podium and give Malihlohonolo her feedback. Toastmasters, we always say that feedback is the breakfast of champions. So tonight it will be dinner. Simpiwe, over to you.
Thank you very much, Madam Toastmaster. The feedback for the speech of Malihlohonolo titled Seeing and Being Seen, Finding Value in Mentorship. So from the speech, you can tell that the speech was well researched, as it was backed up by statistics, quoting percentages of what mentorship can do for you, as the benefits, since you'll be having someone who is or who has been around before or have got experience in whatever field that he or she will be helping you to grow to. So the way she was delivering her speech, you can see, you can tell she's confident. She knows what she's talking about. So it goes back to the research or the amount of work that she put. So she didn't just take it lightly in terms of like, no, I'll go with what I think, or I'll go with the flow. So the things that maybe you may want to work on when you were quoting the figures or the stats, you were referring or you were looking most of the time on your notes. But I understand with numbers, you're either right or wrong. There is nothing in between. So in that case, we understand. It's okay. Maybe something that you can explore more on. We understand it's a virtual platform, but you can try to use more of your space, move, so that we can see and have more of your gestures when you're showing or emphasizing a point. Thank you very much. That's it from my side. Otherwise, it was well researched, prepared, and well delivered speech. And I believe all of us from this platform, we got some skaftina to take home with in terms of what are the advantages of mentorship. So by meaning skaftina, I mean we have something that we learned from you. Thank you very much. Keep working hard and shining, and we're learning and developing all together. Thank you. Oh, sorry, Asia. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Simpiwe, for that feedback, Malay. I hope you take it to heart and you improve on the areas that you are supposed to improve on, and you hone the areas that you are already excelling at. Now I would like to call upon Ngosnati, who was evaluating Rina. Ngosnati, please come to the virtual podium and give Rina her feedback. Over to you, Ngosnati.
Okay, thank you so much, Madam Toastmaster of the evening. I can't put my video on. I am in the dark. However, thank you so much, Rina. You did very well. I enjoyed your speech. And please share some cookies for me. I'd love to have some from you. And your speech was very well researched, and you used the software presentation tool very well, and you were actually flowing with your presentation. You know, you were not behind, no, or after. You were actually moving on a very slide mode together with your tone, and you were moving together with your presentation simultaneously, so we were not left behind. I was able to follow through and to know and connect what you were talking about. So well done on that. I truly had enjoyed your speech, and you actually excelled at eye contact. Your eye contact was very exceptional. We were able to connect, you know, because the message is actually written in your eyes. You know, we were able to read and actually flow with you as you were presenting, and you did on that aspect very well. Please keep it up and actually take it wherever you go. And your tone, you are actually clear. You were actually loud and audible. We could hear and hear what you were saying. So we were not beating around the bush to say, what are you saying now? But we were actually hearing exactly what you were saying. And your hand gestures as well. You use them very well. We were able to see, and I was able to see you actually trying to demonstrate with your hand. So well done on that. So you may actually want to work on your vocal variety, you know, especially when you were now, I think it was the voice of a daughter or someone who was like a child, you know, you should have used at least, you know, like that voice of a baby, like, can I have a cookie, please? You know, something like that. It will have been more fun and engaging to know that you are now speaking about someone who is a child, you know. So we actually were struggling to connect whether it was you asking for the cookie or it was from a child. So you may want to work on that. However, you did very well. Your speech was lovely. And you might want to actually challenge yourself on using your space rather than to be rigid, you know, or standing at one spot. You may want to use your space. It's all yours. You know, we are only sitting behind and we want to actually enjoy you, you know. So you may want to actually use your whole space, move around if you need to, do whatever that you have to do, because we are actually expecting anything that comes from you since when you are in charge, when you are delivering your speech. After all, you did very well. And for me, I actually had learned on, you know, how to also use the presentation software. I might want to use it even for myself, even for the later stage. But Well done. Well done. Looking forward to enjoying more speeches from you. Thank you so much. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ngosnati, for that feedback. Rena, I hope you take all the good points and you hone on what you are excelling at already, and you go back to the drawing board to rectify and enhance the points of improvement that have been shared with you right now. Thank you so much, Ngosnati. Without wasting time, ladies and gentlemen, mindfulness is living. Mindful living is taking moments throughout the day to be fully present with our environment and everything within it. You know, it made me think how often in this busy day, in this tech era that we live in, I mean, we take pictures every time. How often are you actually present in your environment where you don't have to take a picture, whether you're at a restaurant with a friend catching up, whether you're at home with the kids? How often do you really take in the environment and don't let anything distract you from it? I did a hike the other day and I realized that instead of enjoying the hike, we were more occupied by taking pictures so we can post on Instagram. And then I thought, why are we even in nature in the first place? That's a thought for you. Think about the things that distract you, that don't allow you to be present in your own situations, in your own environments, in the things that you engage in, you love, but you find that even when you're at a restaurant, you have to take a picture of that drink before you savor the taste in your mouth so that you can post it on Instagram. Now let's go forward with our agenda and call upon our tabletop master, who is going to take us through a very interesting session. Madam Table Topics, Colleen Mabileja, please come to the virtual podium and present your section. Over to you.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. I hope you can hear me very well tonight. I tried to stand up, but I'm not sure if the challenge at this point is my height or the level of my device. But I think I will try that in the next meeting because it's obviously not working out at the moment. But tonight I will be your table topics master. First of all, I would like to apologize for onboarding onto the meeting a little late. I had some network issues, but without wasting any more time, table topics, I'm assuming someone maybe did step onto my space earlier on to explain what it is, but it's basically impromptu speeches. So I will be calling people onto the podium to basically give us a brief explanation of a topic that I would be throwing to you. And which is the whole idea. The whole idea is to catch you off guard and to kind of enhance your skills in terms of knowing when to speak, in the moment, basically. And I mean, I feel like table topics and mindful living are definitely besties because table topics is about speaking in the moment, being in the moment, capturing the moment, and just, you know, making the best of it while you are in that moment. And I feel if anything explains mindful living, it's definitely table topics or vice versa. So without wasting time, I am going to be calling my volunteers. Well, not volunteers per se, because if I'm calling you, then I'm not really giving you an opportunity to volunteer. But if you are uncomfortable and you'd rather not step onto the podium, I will not coerce you to take the opportunity. So just maybe raise your hand if you're not able to unmute yourself and give a speech, and maybe I will move on to the next person. And also I will be doing my topics today a little differently. Instead of asking a question or rather posing something that I expect you to answer back to me, I would rather be giving you a sentence that I would want you to use at some point in whatever you're going to be saying, whether it's the beginning, opening of your whatever you're saying, or the middle of what you're saying, or the ending of what you're saying. So I'm just going through the list of the participants today, and I see that we have quite a couple of guests in our meeting tonight. Dr. Mgolozeli did give an explanation of the pathways. And he also emphasized on how it's important to make use of that opportunity to make sure that you are reaping the best of your benefits. So also with Table Topics, it's a moment where we give our guests an opportunity to just be part of the meeting, because I feel like without actually forming part of the meeting and, you know, saying something, you feel left out of the meeting. So I hope my guests don't feel that I'm coming for them. But I think to break the ice, I will be calling Teddy Mavimbela to the stage. My good sir, if you are comfortable with the stage tonight, can I call you to the stage and give you your first sentence of the day?
Oh,
Mr.
not
Teddy.
again. I'm kidding. Definitely, yes.
All right, so your title for today's Table Topics speech is Let Go of Expectations. You can use this either at the beginning, the middle, or the ending of your speech. Thank you.
All right, let go of expectations, right?
Correct.
All right, perfect. I hope you're all doing well. Oh my, I just realized that I used the word we shouldn't be using, but that's okay. So letting go of expectations to me would be essentially making room for disappointment, because sometimes life doesn't really go how we expect it to, but maybe it's how it should be going, right? Essentially moving in harmony. And that is essentially my understanding of letting go of expectations. I'm not too sure if you were looking for an explanation, but I figured on the spot, given an explanation would be the best thing to do.
Correct. So just as Teddy said, I basically have no say in how you choose to go about your speech. It's up to you totally. You can, you know, throw it back to me as a question at the end of whatever it is that you're saying. But Table Topics is basically about you expressing yourself and how you are relating to what has been said to you. Otherwise, thank you so much for taking that moment. I will be moving on to the next person. And just as a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, you have a minute and up to 2 minutes to give your speech. So you definitely have a lot more time than 30 seconds. So maybe try to utilize the 2 minutes that you have. Next up, I will be moving to Miss Thandazile Shangase. Ma'am, are you comfortable stepping onto the virtual podium tonight to grace us with your presence? All right, I am not seeing any action from her icons, so I will be moving on to the next person, and I would like to call Miss Cindy Dladla. Are you available to step onto the visual podium tonight and grace us with your presence, please?
The way I had a piece of paper in my mouth. Wow.
That is what Table Topics is about, ma'am. They catch you off guard and they expect you to ace the moment, but nothing to be fearful of. It's basically how you relate best to what is being said to you. So your sentence, or rather your words that I'm going to offer to you to use to the best of your ability is, become okay with discomfort. Tell us anything about that.
All right. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. And thank you for this beautiful meeting. My name is Cindy Dladla. And comfort is always what I look for. I think it is a human condition to really want to have comfortable spaces, a comfortable life, a comfortable everything. But what I've learned is that everything you want is on the other side of your comfort, is on the other side of your fear. In navigating my career as a creative artist, I've had to find myself building empires that I cannot see. I found myself having faith in things that at times I wouldn't believe in. One could say, yes, I've had to sell out at one point for commercialization of the arts, because as a purist, I need to remember that at the end of the day, I've got bills to pay. But I'm grateful that in this time in my life, I have taken a new route, and I'm getting out of the comfort of settling because monetary gain is more important than the vision that I have as an artist, as a purist for myself. And that's why I established my own business called Mana Organics. And I'm putting together the arts, and I'm putting together finances to make sure that I am able to live off what I create. So getting out of comfort. I'm in the most comfortable place in my life right now, and I'm grateful that I've been able to build the capacity to house that comfort. And that comfort came with me getting into uncomfortable situations. Thank you very much.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. That was well put, well put, well put. And thank you so much for taking up the opportunity and gracing us with your presence. That was beautifully said. I couldn't agree more. I feel like the only way to grow in life is to become uncomfortable, because there's absolutely nothing that you will reap in your comfort zone. I am a testament of that. I love my comfort zone. So I feel like the best way to navigate in life, to move up in life, to progress in life is definitely getting yourself used to being uncomfortable, because it's the uncomfortable that will get you to an okay, comfortable zone. You know, I don't think there's ever a time where you get to a point in life where you're like, yeah, you know what, now I'm chilled. But I think the discomfort definitely pushes you to a standard, or to a level of life where you feel, this is what I want for myself. This is what I've been creating for myself. And I think as human beings, that is all that we can aim for. Otherwise, without wasting any more time, I am not sure how much time I still do have, but I'm going to take the opportunity and continue until the timer comes for me. So for the third person, I would like to call, I see Division A Toastmasters is hiding behind the Division A. Oh, you have raised your hand, Division A Toastmasters. You may speak. I'm not sure if it's a question or if it's you giving up yourself as a volunteer. Division A Toastmaster, your hand is up. Is it
Yes,
as a
that is
volunteer?
Nkosinati, Madam Taylor.
Are you putting yourself up as a volunteer? Sir? Mr. Madonsela, are you putting yourself up as a volunteer, my good sir? Well, silence is something when you aren't getting anything else, so I will assume that is not the case. Without wasting any more time, I will like to call on, okay, Ms. Tlhogi, I see, will be generally evaluating us, so let me, you know, take the nuggets of the meeting. Uthandile Samela, are you available to grace us with your presence tonight for 2 minutes to speak on Uthandile Samela?
Sure.
Perfect,
Yeah,
perfect,
sure.
perfect. So your topic for tonight is what is one of the ways, it'll be different from how the others did theirs, but can you tell us one way in which you practice mindful living? I know that Madam Toastmaster of the day did mention the 5 types of practices that you can include in being mindful, or rather practicing a mindful lifestyle, but maybe you can just tell us one way in which you practice your mindful living. How do you go about, you know, incorporating mindfulness in your life?
Oh, goodness. Okay. Great question. Good morning. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Sure, I didn't know I was going to speak today. It was just first time. So I guess the question is, how do I practice mindfulness? Mindful living is, I think, firstly, mindful living for me personally is, I think I said it on the chat, is intentionality in how one lives their life. Being the decisions you make, really being someone who makes a decision, understanding the impact, whether it's however great or however small, understanding the impact impacts you one way or another, and may or may not impact other people beyond you. So my mindful living, or how I've been mindful about that, is really, I guess, being conscious about my purpose. And that for me, I'm a faith-driven girl, so I'm very proud about it. I stand firm on my faith. It's my ground, it's my anchor, it's my foundation when I cannot seem to make sense of what the world is. It's my guide when I cannot seem to interpret what's happening around me, or I want to keep the light within me shining, or I want to keep the purpose within me shining. So that for me it's always been my faith, and that's how I've managed to continue living a mindful life, or establish a mindful living, because I find the older I get, the mindfulness keeps changing or keeps evolving. So for me, yes, that's my one way. There are other ways, but from faith, I really find that it's been almost like my tree branching out to different things. So yeah, that's me.
You are on mute, Pauline.
My apologies for that. But I was just basically thanking the speaker for gracing us with her presence. That was beautifully said. I mean, faith definitely is the glue that is holding most of us. I speak for myself. So I was appreciative of what you said, and I felt I related to most of what you said. So thank you so much for that. Madam Timer, I'm not sure how much time I still do have. So unfortunately, I have exceeded my time, but this has been beautiful. I've enjoyed this so much. I will be handing back to the Toastmaster of the day, my beautiful mentor, Miss Bongile Mtweni. Over to you, ma'am. Thank you so much, everyone.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give her a round of applause. Woo-hoo! Well done. Well done. Woo! Yay! That's a Soweto Siaka appreciation right there. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Colin. That was beautifully, beautifully done. I loved the way you conducted your table topics. You know, you will hear from me after this. That was beautifully done. I loved all the speakers. And I want to say, Cindy, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for opening your video. Ladies and gentlemen, I know that we are on the virtual podium. However, when you are a role player in a meeting, imagine if we were meeting in person. We would be seeing you, we would be hanging on every word that you are saying, because we'll be seeing your gestures, we'll be seeing your facial expressions and all of that. Teddy, I loved your response, and I was hanging on every word, and I just wished I could see you, I could see your delivery. And also, Utandile, I wished I could see you, because those were important things. But if we cannot see you, if we cannot connect the face to the voice, we forget what you said to us. And it is important that we take some of the nuggets that you are saying to us and take them home, because as much as you can be a powerful speaker, but when we cannot see you on the virtual podium, we literally forget 70% of what you say. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. I would like now to call, before I call upon our general evaluator, let me just check my agenda. Yes. Before I call upon the general evaluator, I would like to close my session, because this is where I end. So mindful living is not only being present, it's not only being aware of where you are. It is also about being aware of our individual impact. And this one I loved, because this now talks to your contribution as an individual. What is your contribution? Be aware of your contribution, your individual impact, and acknowledging the ripples of each step that we take. So mindfulness is catching yourself on how you contribute to your environment. Is it positive? Is it negative? Are you proud of your contribution, or do you always see everybody doing wrong than you, or doing right for that matter? So as we continue from today, after we've understood what mindful living is, I hope we go back to our spaces and we practice it, and we become not just present and not just aware of the environment, but also aware of our impact. of our contribution into each and every situation. You were all a lovely audience, and I enjoyed steering this meeting with you. Now I would like to call upon our general evaluator, who will give her report. I'm not sure if it's going to be before or after she has called her entire team to give their reporting according to the roles that they described to you. Over to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Madam Toastmaster. You have really, really made us think deeply about mindful living. I really, really appreciate that. It is now the General Evaluator session, and to kickstart this session, I'd like to call upon the role players. To start off with, I'd like to call upon our grammarian, Cindy Dladla, to please give her grammarian's report. Over to you, Cindy.
Thank you so much, Madam Evaluator. Let me just turn on my computer. Well, not my computer. Hi, my name is Cindy Dladla again. I am here to report on the grammarian and the R-counter roles. First of all, what a beautiful theme, what a beautiful meeting. The theme was unpacked so beautifully. It is made tangible because we do have a lot of buzzwords where things do sound cool when we say mindful living. What is that? But this meeting, particularly Mrs. Bongile, really, really brought it to the table in terms of just unpacking important and also palpable ways of understanding what mindful living is. And I love what you said about it's about how you contribute. I'm going to sit on that one for a while, let it percolate when I do my meditation this evening. So thank you for that. And then moving on to the ahs and the ums and the oohs. All right. I'd like to just say Ms. Bongile used percolate 3 times. Yay! She was the only one. But well done. So peculate us. We are your coffee. Peculate us. And then we've got oh wow, I love how I'm saying during the Okay, we've Male and Smo only used once and twice, and Teddy as well. Unati used it twice. Then before I get to who used it the most, which was 15 times, I'm just gonna revert quickly, if you'll indulge me, to my grammarian role. There was a part in a speech, I think by Rena, she said, to rebuild after war, we have the responsibility to rebuild after war. And I found that very profound, not even talking about World War II external wars, but to rebuild after our own internal wars that we fight every day. I found that very, very, very profound. And then there was just one little umpi with regards to grammar. When someone says, for me personally, I believe it's a tautology, because for me personally is a repetition. That's just something to note. And then I don't know if we need a drum roll for this one. We've got the 15 times. Colleen, we love you. We love you. I was taking notes. All right, thank you so much for having me in this meeting. Thank you, Nati, for the invite. It was really, really great to be here. All right.
Let's give a round of applause to our grammarian. And
thank you so much. That was beautiful.
Yes, thank you, Cindy, for that detailed report. I think now I would like to call upon, should I call upon the timer? I see as per the agenda, the timer comes after the general evaluator's report. Please guide me. Should I jump into the general evaluators report? Is that fine? All right.
Yes,
thank
let
you.
our timer come at the end.
Okay.
Timer.
Thank you. That is noted. And then I think I've come to the point where I will be giving my general evaluators report. But before I do that, please allow me to thank you, Visionary Readers Club, for allowing me the opportunity to share my observations with of the meeting with you tonight. Indeed, I think this was a very beautiful meeting, insightful, very many profound moments that we've experienced, and those are just in line with the theme of the meeting. So thank you so much for that. Just to start off with, or just to highlight some of the things that I think as a club you did well on. It's the agenda was shared well in advance. I received the agenda yesterday. So thank you so much for that, for just shows that, you know, in terms of organizing, things were done on point. I liked how when the meeting was started exactly at 6 o'clock, there was an announcement that the meeting will be slightly delayed by about a few minutes. So thank you for doing that. We really, really appreciate that. And as well as that, the agenda was posted. So this just helps bring everyone onto the same level. And the grammarian and the accountant, they did a job well done, as well as the timer in introducing their roles, and especially to the grammarian in introducing the word of the day. And I really liked this part, this word of the day, because it's a word that is unfamiliar. And the purpose of the word of the day is for us to broaden or expand our vocabulary. So it was great that, you know, she has chosen such an unfamiliar word. So congratulations on that. I'm really, really taking note of such a word, and I'm planning to use it forward in my communication. And then moving to our Toastmaster of the day, our Toastmaster of the day, I think I really appreciate the energy that she brought onto the meeting. From the time that she was still in the car driving, it definitely was an uncomfortable, I believe it could have been an uncomfortable situation, but she made the best of it. So thank you, well done on that, Madam Toastmaster of the day. And I also liked how sharp she was throughout the meeting. I mean, when immediately after the grammarian introduced the word of the day, she was just able to bring life to that word. I mean, making reference to an old advert showing her age. About showing, I mean, an old advert about Rico. So well done on that. Also, I mean, you have steered the CI very well tonight. You kept us engaged. You asked us questions, you know, about the theme, which I think is something that really has stood out for me, because sometimes, you know, we tend to forget about the theme of the day, and you were able to carry that throughout the meeting, right up until the end when you were closing up the meeting. You have really brought life to the theme of the day. So well done on that. And also when you asked members to share some of the things, I should share their definitions of what is mindful living. That was very engaging. Moreover, you were able to also look at those responses and, you know, sort of make us feel that we're in the meeting, or that you were not only just asking us just so that to pass time, but indeed you were really interested in understanding what the views are about Mind of the Day. So well done. I think the educational that was put in place, I think that was very well done. Sometimes we do forget about some of the, you know, the logistics or administrative issues regarding Toastmasters. So well done on putting that. And I know that maybe it was put in at the last minute because of the, you know, some of the role players not pitching. So well done. And I think one thing that I really like about Visionary Readers, I think this is my third time visiting the meeting, everyone pulls together. So that really comes out during your meetings. And I think I want to commend you as a club on that. Also on the timer, I liked how the timer was being pinned onto the screen, just so that the speakers could be aware of the time that they have left. Sometimes the timer can disappear into, you know, the gallery, and the speaker would not maybe notice the time. So I think that is a great initiative that you guys are doing as a club. Moving over to the table topic session. Table Topics Master, thank you so much for such a lovely and creative session, very profound. And also I liked how she carried through with the theme of the day, re-emphasizing and reassuring guests that this session is not about being perfect, but is about being able to take that opportunity and use it and talk about mindful living, use that opportunity. There's no right or wrong answer. So thank you so much for that. I think that was a great move that you did, encouraging guests to participate and reassuring them. Very big round of applause to you. And yes, an areas that I think perhaps the club could do better on was, during when you're doing the roll calls, at the beginning of the meeting, that really did take away some time into the meeting. And also, it sort of, you would tend to lose audience when the logistics that are being sorted out takes longer than they should have. So I think maybe look into, maybe in the agenda, opening up indicating that the meeting room will be opened sooner, or no, it's just stating that the meeting would start at 17:45 instead of 6 o'clock. Because what I've noticed is that usually when you say the meeting starts at 6, people want to joining at 6 minutes past 1. But if you state that it opens earlier, then there's sort of enough time to navigate and ensure and make sure that all the logistics are corrected. So maybe that's something you could consider taking forward. I think also on the word of the day, I think the grammarian could have posted the word of the day on the chat, just so that people since it was, especially because it was an unfamiliar word, it would be easy to see the word, learn the word, and be able to use it. Because I had to Google and had to play around with different spellings, but because Google is so efficient, I was able then to get the correct spelling of the word. So please do consider doing that. And also one thing that I think we also tend to underestimate is the renaming of our role players. It makes it easy for not the general evaluator, but the Toastmaster of the day to know who's on the call. So please do try and encourage your guests or role players to rename themselves, so that it just becomes easier to navigate and see who's here and who's not. And then, so that we don't spend so much time on just, asking who's in on who's not. Other than that, I think this was a great meeting. I really, really enjoyed myself. You really brought, the theme of the day to light. In many instances, the theme of the day does get buried as the meeting proceeds, but every now and then the theme of the meeting was brought to life, and it reminded us you were able to the various role players reminded us of the theme of the day. And I think that was great, especially because this was such a deep and profound theme. And it was great that, we kept on being reminded, and it was unpacked, like our grammarian had said, unpacked on various levels. So I really enjoyed that. Definitely, it has made me really think deep about mindful living, and I will be taking what I've learned here today going forward. Thank you very much. I think now I would like to call upon our timer to give the timer's report. Madam Timer, are you ready? Thank you so much.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. As I had said in the beginning, I was timing the table topics, the prepared speeches and evaluations. So for the table topics, the first speaker was Teddy, who spoke for 39 seconds. The second speaker was Cindy, who spoke for 1 minute, 47 seconds. Utandile spoke for 1 minute, 39 seconds. So for prepared speeches, the first speaker was Malay, who spoke for 7 minutes, 59 seconds. And then we had Rina, who spoke for 6 minutes, 55 seconds. Simpiwe Choni, evaluations. He spoke for 1 minute, 59 seconds. And Nati spoke for 3 minutes, 11 seconds. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madam General Evaluator. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give them a round of applause.
for that feedback. And as a club, we value feedback and we will try and make sure that we improve where we can. Now isiyaya simile e-taxi rank. Ningahlika nonke. Ngikhohle ukubuza nje ukuthi ize na-4 yabona, and ize iphelele because I have no change. Thank you so much. You were all a good sport. I had fun. I always had fun in this club. And now I will hand over to our president to close out the meeting. Over to you, Madam President.
Thank you very much. So, yeah. As a grandmother of 7, I could relate to today's speeches. Just being intentional, mindful, and conscious of not only giving back by mentoring, but also being mentored by the intergenerational engagements that I actually expose myself to. So today's theme was on point. I want also to thank all the guests, the visitors, and the participants in today's meeting for making this meeting so vibrant and also giving us that constructive feedback. I think everything from people, from the speeches, from the feedback, and all the role players, they really played a very significant role in growing this meeting. So I just wanted to find out if we have an opportunity to get, even if just it's one guest, to give us the feedback. If you don't want to say something, just how you have experienced it, you can just on the chat leave us your own feedback. It's something that we will be very excited to have as team members. I see Utandile here is on video, and I am hoping that you just want to give us some feedback on how you have experienced this meeting. Do you, Utandile?
Sure, I'm really put on the stand today. Yeah, thank you so much. It was amazing. I really, as someone who's, I just remember the critique of the arms. The Toastmasters has always been something that's I've gravitated towards, but never felt like I fit in, because it's like I can't speak like these people. Like they are dynamic in how they can speak and articulate and enunciate. Where do I fit into this? So through Male, of course, I was exposed to this new way, a new reality, and I feel just from just hearing everyone speak and just the few topics, it's just amazing. And also the table topic, I was fearful of it, but I really it was an amazing opportunity to lean towards. So it's a good group of people, and I really enjoyed just the whole experience. It was amazing, and very kudos to all the speakers. It was great to hear your diversity and your different topics and how you approached your different topics. So I really thumbs up. I don't know if there's a 5-star review, but I would have given 5+. It was that good. So thank you for fulfilling my little childhood dream. So thank you. That was great.
That's absolutely good. We probably now have to all be on video, and I can see we are committed. Simpiwe, it would really be nice to be on video. Our Mr. IPP has got something that he does just before. Which will be our last official meeting of the year. And we are going to take time, all of us, to percolate for 2024. And please do come back again, guests, and we hope to see more of all the other colleagues. Just before we close the meeting, Mr. IPP, you want to do the...
Yes, if you can all smile, I'm ready to tick. I need Teddy and Oam to show
I
them.
don't have a webcam, unfortunately.
Okay,
all right,
that's
okay.
fine.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I've done the part I wanted to do. Thank you so much.
And thank you, Cindy. I've actually met Cindy in a plane just years ago. It was actually good to actually see you here today. And thank you very much for coming. Colleagues, okay, I've got my grammarian, I think 2 of them already for you. Just without further ado, thank you very much for participating in today's meeting. Have a very good weekend ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam President. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Nice.
Thank you, everyone. Good night.